Welcome back everyone, and thank you for joining this channel where hidden history, rare discoveries, and unbelievable value collide, because today we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious, controversial, and talked about coins in modern American numismatics, a coin that on its face looks ordinary, small, and almost disposable, yet under the right circumstances is believed by some collectors, researchers, and high-end investors to be worth as much as $10 million. Yes, you heard that right, $10 million for a single penny, specifically the 1993 D1 cent, a coin that has quietly circulated for decades while carrying with it a storm of speculation, error theories, mint anomalies, metallurgical mysteries, and once-in-a-generation possibilities that have turned it into a legend among error coin hunters. And as you settle in, understand that this is not a quick surface-level story but a deep exploration of why such a common-looking coin could potentially command life-changing money, how minting errors can elevate ordinary currency into extraordinary artifacts, and why the 1993 D penny in particular occupies a unique and almost mythical position in the numismatic world. Because when people hear that a penny could be worth millions, they naturally assume exaggeration or clickbait. Yet history has repeatedly shown that the smallest deviations in the minting process, when combined with rarity, timing, condition, and demand, can explode values beyond what most people think is possible, and the 1993 D1 cent sits at the crossroads of all those factors, starting with the year itself, 1993, a time when the United States Mint was still working with copper-plated zinc planchets for Lincoln cents, following the 1982 transition away from solid copper, a change that introduced a host of new manufacturing challenges including plating integrity, bonding consistency, planchet thickness tolerances, and alloy contamination risks, all of which created fertile ground for errors that could slip through unnoticed. And when we narrow our focus to the Denver Mint, marked by the small but crucial D mint mark beneath the date, we enter an environment known historically for high-speed production runs, massive output volumes, and a documented record of striking anomalies that were not always caught during quality control, especially during years when demand for cents was extraordinarily high due to economic conditions and circulation where, and it is within this context that the 1993 D penny becomes fascinating, because while tens or even hundreds of millions were struck, only a microscopic fraction may carry the specific combination of errors and anomalies that transform an otherwise face-value coin into a multi-million-dollar prize. And the first major category of error often associated with the rumored $10 million valuation is the possibility of a wrong planchet strike, which is among the most dramatic and valuable errors in numismatics, because if a 1993 D cent were accidentally struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or even a different metal entirely, such as a bronze planchet from pre-1982 stock, an aluminum experimental blank, or a foreign alloy blank, it would instantly become a unique artifact representing a breakdown in mint segregation protocols. And history proves this is not impossible, as wrong planchet errors from other years have sold for hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. And when paired with the modern era scarcity and the public fascination with Lincoln cents, the value could escalate exponentially, particularly if metallurgical testing confirms an undocumented or experimental composition that was never officially released. And this leads directly into one of the most tantalizing theories surrounding the 1993 D penny, the idea that a small number of experimental planchets may have been tested or accidentally mixed into production during this period, possibly involving alternative alloys designed to reduce costs, improve durability, or test vending machine compatibility. And while the Mint rarely confirms such experiments publicly, internal testing has historically occurred, and when experimental coins escape into circulation they become some of the most valuable pieces in existence, because they represent not only a physical object but a hidden chapter of Mint history that was never meant to leave the building. And beyond planchet composition, there is the equally compelling realm of doubled dies, specifically doubled die obverse or reverse errors, which occur during the hubbing process when misalignment causes design elements to be impressed more than once at slightly different angles, creating visible doubling on letters, numbers, and portraits. And while minor doubling is relatively common and often dismissed as machine doubling, true doubled dies are rare, dramatic, and highly prized. And if a 1993 D penny were discovered with a bold, unquestionable doubled die affecting key areas such as the date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust," and if that doubling were unique or extremely limited in population, it could form the foundation for extraordinary valuation, especially if it went unnoticed for decades, allowing the mythos to build around it as a sleeper rarity hiding in plain sight. And this idea of time is crucial, because coins that surface immediately after minting rarely achieve the Same legendary status as those discovered years later, since delayed discovery adds intrigue, mystery, and a sense of destiny that fuels collector obsession, and the longer a coin remains undiscovered, the more likely it is that only a handful exist, either because most were melted, lost, or simply never struck in large numbers to begin with, and the 1993 D penny fits this narrative perfectly, as no widely publicized, confirmed multi-million-dollar example has been officially graded and sold. Which paradoxically increases speculation, because collectors know that some of the most valuable coins in history were once unknown until a single example changed everything, and beyond doubling. Another major error category tied to extreme value is off-metal or transitional errors, where a coin is struck during a period of change or confusion, such as leftover planchets from previous years or incorrect stock being fed into presses, and while 1993 was not officially a transitional year, a lingering presence of earlier materials, combined with ongoing experimentation, leaves open the possibility of anomalies that defy official records, and when such a coin is authenticated, it becomes a direct contradiction to established mint documentation, which is precisely what drives prices into the stratosphere, because collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying proof that history is incomplete. And another layer of intrigue comes from strike anomalies such as extreme die caps, broad strikes without collars, or coins struck through foreign objects, which can produce one-of-a-kind appearances, and while many of these errors are visually dramatic, their value skyrockets when they occur on already desirable dates or mints, and when combined with pristine preservation, because condition matters enormously, and a mint state error with full original surfaces and no post-mint damage can be worth many multiples of a similar error in circulated condition. And when we imagine a hypothetical 1993 D penny with a major strike error, wrong planchet composition, doubled die features, and exceptional preservation, we begin to see how values can climb into seven figures and beyond, especially when such a coin is effectively unique, because uniqueness is the ultimate multiplier in numismatics, and uniqueness paired with widespread public recognition, such as the Lincoln Cent series which virtually every American recognizes, creates a perfect storm of demand, and demand is the engine that drives prices beyond rational limits, and it is not just collectors who would be interested in such a coin, but museums, private investors, hedge fund-backed collectibles firms, and even technology entrepreneurs who see rare coins as tangible stores of value in an increasingly digital and volatile world. And the idea of owning the most valuable penny ever known has a psychological allure that transcends traditional collecting, turning the coin into a cultural icon, and this is where the $10 million figure begins to make sense, not as a guaranteed price but as a theoretical ceiling driven by competition among ultra-wealthy buyers, because when two or more individuals with virtually unlimited resources decide they must own the same object, traditional valuation models collapse, and prices can escalate rapidly, and the 1993 D penny, if proven to possess the right combination of undocumented error characteristics, could become exactly that kind of object, a trophy asset, rather than a mere collectible. And as we continue, we will dive even deeper into specific error scenarios, authentication challenges, grading implications, historical precedents, and the realistic pathways by which such a coin could go from a pocket change curiosity to a world record-breaking sale, because this story is not just about a penny, it is about how value is created, how rarity is discovered, and how ordinary objects can transform into extraordinary legends. And in the next continuation we will explore additional error types, including die deterioration doubling versus true hub doubling, missing design elements, mule coin possibilities, and the critical role of third-party grading in legitimizing multi-million-dollar claims. So stay with this journey as the mystery of the 1993 D1 cent continues to unfold.